The new Israeli government is the first in 29 years, I believe, to exclude the ultra-Orthodox parties. Is this going to make it much easier for the Haredi draft bill to be passed through?
Well, one of the reasons that we had these elections was because of the fact that they couldn't pass that bill. It's very interesting to note that you said excluded, but they chose not to join. And in that sense also, they could have joined if they were willing to compromise. And they weren't, which means it's going to be imposed upon them. I think that the most important aspect of what happened right now is not necessarily the fact that they're going to be drafted, but the fact that in their education system, this government has committed itself that in the ultra-Orthodox system, they will have to learn secular studies. Moira, they haven't until now. And that means that they are going to add in math, English, and sciences into a group of men who, at the age of 18, were very learned but unemployable. If they manage to implement the introduction of secular studies into the ultra-Orthodox education system, that could be a real game changer for Israeli society and for our economy.
Who are Israel's friends, and do they always speak up publicly as such?
Oh, Israel has many friends. And when we think about it, we have to kind of differentiate between the over 160 nations in the world that have full diplomatic relations with the State of Israel, these different countries that not all of us have heard about, a country in Africa like Burkina Faso, who know how very much to take advantage of Israeli high-tech agricultural technology, of the different advances that Israel has done in the desalination and in water drip technology. So who heard of Burkina Faso? And they know how to speak up on behalf of Israel. Israel has friends both in Africa and in Asia and in South America. Israel stands strong with the fact that we do have a strategic alliance with the main country in the world, which is the United States of America. We feel that it's both values that are the same type of values. It doesn't mean you don't have differences of opinion, but we stand very strongly with them.
Now, you were the Israeli PM's foreign press spokesman, we know that. Do you think that the fact that you're a woman gave you an advantage? Did it give Israel a softer face?
I think that if they could find the perfect Israeli spokesperson, she would be perhaps as knowledgeable as I am with a military background. And we used to joke about the fact that the only problem with me is that I'm not blonde. Then I look at that and I say, I'm not sure that that's what I want to have in the world. I want us to have spokespeople who not only can talk about what they're talking about, and some of us sometimes are very harsh on Israelis. Israelis have accents and that's okay, and we want to be able to be clear about the message. But when it comes to Israeli PR, the challenges that we face are not necessarily about what the spokesperson looks like. It has to do with the general framing of the media of the issues. And the frame is one which is very challenging for Israel, and our main challenge is to change that framing. The framing itself is one which most people here find very uncomfortable. The reason we're in the news is because of conflict. And the way the violence is presented is that the reason there is violence in our area is because of the occupation. And if you would just end the occupation, you would end the violence. And that framing is one which is very difficult because either you're talking about there is occupation or there isn't occupation, or it's disputed territories or not. And you're talking about very negative aspects. It's not about the Israel that we know, and it's a big challenge.
How do you keep your cool in the face of hostile questioning?
One of the main stereotypes about Israelis is that we are aggressive. And as I said before, the reason there is violence is because of occupation, and occupation is an aggressive thing. And I'm very aware of that fact. I am a mother. I am both a wife, a mother, a career woman. And I think that that soft voice is part of what can contradict just the basic prior stereotypes of the aggressive Israeli. If there is a type of spokesperson that I would like to see less in the news, it's the one who stands up and has a fist and talks with a strong voice and makes the point with a soft voice. I actually never get mad. I smile inside. I think to myself, I can take it. I have very strong beliefs in both Israel's right to exist as both a Jewish and democratic country. I don't think it's easy, but if I remember that basic truth and the basic idea of what Zionism stands for, I think that we have a real strong case for the world.